Hi, it's Tina Brinkley Potts, and today we have Mary from Big Dogs Marketing. And you know, Mary, I was at a networking event earlier this week, and surprisingly enough, there was a lot of people that still had old style websites. Some still didn't have websites at all. And I just thought what would be good today is talking about what you think are good components of a website and, building a great online presence. How do you start?
Well, if you just want to start talking about website components, I think what you want to do is have a place for people to come and get engaged. I think something for them to do, like if you're a photographer, for example, you'd have a gallery of your great work, show it off. If they have some videos to watch with great content that people can use, be valuable, be a resource to your visitors. And then something else I think that is good is to have some kind of compelling offer. And then you would have an opt-in box, of course, above the fold, which means above the halfway mark in terms of the website space. In the upper right corner is the most popular and the most easily seen by the visitor. And so I would have a compelling offer, and then I would have that opt-in box so that you can generate leads and you can actually capture that information and go back later and send email follow-ups, SMS, however you like to communicate with your visitors.
Great. So let's start with you talked about having an opt-in. You want to explain what that is? I mean, of course I know, but how about you explain what an opt-in is?
It's basically when you go to someone's site and you see like these little white boxes that say just put in your name and your email and click here and you'll get our compelling free offer, our free coupon, our ebook or guide to better online presence or whatever it might be. And so that is something that every website should have, because otherwise visitors will come, they will go, and you're missing out on that opportunity and you're literally leaving money on the table, I think. So it's also considered, I guess you could say it's a lead capture page, would be another way to say that. Yeah. Does that make any sense, I think?
Yes, absolutely. So some great examples of good opt-ins, like for a let's say you have some type of a spa and you want to give a free scrub, with the manicure, because they have these new scrubs for your hands and everything. So, that would be a great offer. Having an offer of, like, I have a senior care company, so telling people the 7 things you should ask any senior care company when you're looking for care. That, an ebook that talks about that. So, those are great things. You have any other examples of what a good one would be for a company to use?
Yeah, actually, I have a client who does awards. He creates awards and gifts and things like that, Crystal, to commemorate a 25th year anniversary or to give an employee of the year award, that kind of thing. And what we're talking about for his compelling offer is to give away a book on motivation, how to motivate your employees, so that they do get the award at the end of the year. So I think something like that would be good. Any kind of ebooks are best because they're just instant. Everybody loves instant. Nobody wants to wait around for the mail to come and a great big heavy book and all that. So it works both ways. It's good for the user because they get it right away, and it's great for the person who owns the website because you don't have to go through all the postage and mailing things out. But any ebook that has content relevant to what your business offers, I would totally make it relevant to your service or product.
Right. And actually, and I'm going to take it a step further. I agree that you want instant delivery, but, you can do ebooks, you can do audios, you can do videos, right. Any kind of content that can be delivered, by download. So I think that is good. So now we talked about opt-in. Let's talk about just your overall website. What's a great way to start when you're getting ready to build your website? What should be your strategy? How should you begin putting it together? Because we talked about an opt-in being on there. Let's talk about some of the other things.
I think possibly a welcome video would be nice, just so that people can get to know who you are, or maybe you're talking about your service, your company, or all of the above. Maybe you're talking a little bit about the timeline of when you first established your business and how it grew, and what are your highlights of your business, and what are the highlights of your products. I think a video would be good because it gets people a chance to get to know you. Even if you're a little camera shy, I guess you could also revert to some sort of video that's about your product itself with your voiceover. I suppose you could do that. You could do photographs of the actual product with a voiceover, or just photographs. But I think there should be things that are engaging to people, and I just think video is a great thing. It's a great tool.
Absolutely. So what I would add to that is make sure you have a clear strategy for each page of your website. I think that's important. I think what we do is we look at a lot of other websites and we go, oh, I like this component of this person's website. I like that component. And then you try putting all of these things together, and then you kind of wonder why it's not working. Well, you want to lead your prospects in a specific way. So each thing should kind of tie together. Like we were talking about with your client that has the, that does the awards, and having an opt-in about how to get, better performance or whatever so they can win the awards. I mean, a great video to go along with that page that has that opt-in would be talking about how awards, create such a better environment when your employees know that they're going to be incentivized and everything, the better performance. So you want everything to kind of go together, because a lot of times they don't. And what I wouldn't want to see, like that particular example do, I wouldn't want to see something like where he's talking about something completely different than what everything else is about on his page, because then you're not given a clear direction where you want to go. Why, Mary, do you feel, because I know we both agree on this, but why do you feel a website isn't enough anymore?
Oh, wow. Because first of all, people aren't looking for your company by your company name, because they don't even know you exist. They are searching for their product or service using terms that are relevant to what they're looking for. If they're looking for awards, they're going to say awards in Clarendon Hills, or awards in, New Jersey, or whatever it is. They're not going to say, award company XYZ. They're not going to look for that. So your website has to come up number one, in order for that, to even happen, for them to even find you. So that's a piece of it. But in addition to that, some of the best traffic you will get from organic traffic would be to be on Facebook and to be on Twitter and to have videos and video campaigns working for you 24 hours a day. I think it's really important to have those videos driving traffic, and the way you do that is you could put that on Facebook. You can put links on Twitter. You need to be on LinkedIn. You need to be on all these different platforms, in my opinion, to get the most Google juice. And by the way, LinkedIn it takes you right to the top. If somebody does know your name and they do Google you, LinkedIn is the very first thing they will see as far as your profile. So that has a lot of Google juice too. So I think a website alone, no, you're not going to get very much traffic. But as soon as you start getting a wider web presence, casting a wider net, I think then you'll see a big difference.
Okay. And so, you mentioned LinkedIn, and, knowing that if someone Googles your name, that's going to be the first thing that comes up. I just want to tell people you want to definitely have a complete profile if you have a LinkedIn. What you don't want, especially, there's a lot of reasons why people would be Googling your name, to find out about you so they can use your services. Even in instances where people are actually looking for jobs, if you have an incomplete LinkedIn presence and someone Googles your name, it kind of says something about you. So if you're going to set it up, take the time to set it up correctly. And if you don't know how, then get someone else to do it for you, because it really is important to have that looking, the way that you want it to look and optimized correctly. So let's get back to websites though. So let's talk about some clear things that should be on the home page of a website. So we already talked about the opt-in. How do you want people to communicate with you? That should be on your home page. I know a lot of people use a contact us page, which is okay, but if, you got to set the stage on how you want people to interact with you. If you want them to interact with you on your social media, then you should have buttons on your website that connects you to your social media. If you do business primarily by phone, then your phone number should be clearly identified on your homepage so people can call you. I mean, if your phone number is hidden and it's hidden on the on the contact us page, why don't make people make any extra efforts than they don't have to? What do you think about that?
I think that's an excellent point. Yes, I do. And as far as the Twitter, I think it's a really good idea to probably, I can't imagine why you wouldn't put the little Twitter button and the little Facebook button on your site. Some people say that it'll drive traffic from your site. I personally like to feel that it'll create a loop that kind of is a cycle, so that they can go from your website, they can go to your Twitter, they can go to your Facebook, but that'll bring you back to the website ultimately anyway for more content, and they'll spend more time. That's just my philosophy on that part of it.
Well, I think Chris brought it up on one of our other sessions, and she talked about the know, like, and trust factor. Well, the easiest way for people to begin to know who you are, what you stand about, and begin to trust and like you is by engaging with you on your social media channels. So just having your website, if they actually connect with you on your social media channels as well, it's more than likely that they will come back to your website more than if they aren't connected to you. So that's one of the most important points about that. I think you're right. It does create a loop, but it creates the loop because now they can know, like, and trust you. So what I'm trying to think of what would be another great thing to tell people about their websites. Okay, let's talk about why it's important to have a content-based site.
Oh, perfect. Yes, absolutely. I think that you need to be a resource for your visitors. They need to feel comfortable that when they come there, they will get some good content and something that they can use today, that they can put to use right away in their business to help them get more customers or retain customers they already have. Or maybe they get a tip about, this is a great idea to have this special kind of coupon and I can make it available on my website. Whatever it is, something even, very small. But I think that if they always feel that, I'm going to go to Tina's site because I just need a little tweak, a little something. I'm seeing things, fall off a little bit in my business. I have this little boutique shop and I sell bracelets and necklaces, and I just think we need a little infusion of some new customers. So I'm going to go to Tina's site and see if she's got any ideas on there. What can I do to dress up my website, or what can I do to stimulate some more customers? And I think that if people start to understand that every time they come to your site, they'll get something out of it, whether it's through video content or it's through your blog or perhaps a post that you put someplace else and you link to it. It doesn't really matter how you deliver that content, but the content has to be authentic, and it should be written by you, and it should be a valuable piece of information. So you're creating value for your customer.
Absolutely. And because everything is constantly moving, it also helps you with your you're searching in the searching. So if you have relevant content that's constantly getting indexed, then it will help you in the search engines. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's talk about what other things like add-ins or other things that you can use with your website to help build your online presence. Because we talked a little bit about social media and having the buttons on there. But like, what are some other great strategies to help build your website presence and things like that?
I like podcasts. I think those are really neat because you can download them. People can download them onto their iPod and take them to the gym and get a little lesson on Facebook timeline or get a little lesson about how to use Twitter properly or just social media in general. I think those are really a fun way to do that. If you can create a podcast page on your site that's dedicated just to that, I think that's a really fun idea. So that makes it portable. Or even if they wanted to download it onto a CD and put it in their car and listen to it in the, car university, I think is always a fun way to do that too. So yeah, I like that. And I like videos and, blogging, a blog post that just sort of keeps people up to date, little blog, like just like a paragraph, even if it is, just to let people know what's going on with Facebook. Facebook just bought Instagram, for X dollars. And why do you think that is? And, what's going on with Pinterest, or just little tidbits so that they can feel that they're getting the latest information and they're kind of being smart about things. And it makes them feel, proud to talk to their customers, and they just know a lot,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because Pinterest is actually becoming a big force in the social media world too. So it is also another way to actually engage with other people and find commonality. We tend to aspire for the same things and, want the same things. You can form vision boards and all of that kind of stuff. So I do believe that the social media outlets and all of the media channels that you said are definitely worth having and connecting to your website. So what are some ways that a layperson can actually get the right kind of traffic to their site? So traffic that would go for their business.
I think there's a lot of ways to do that. I think one of them is you can go to other blogs. First of all, be very, very clear about who your audience is. Be very clear about who you want to come to visit your site. Mm-hmm. Be clear on who your customers are. And then once you are clear on that, I think you'll know where they're hanging out. And for example, let's say you sell quilts. So you'd get on Facebook and look for quilting groups and join those groups and engage with those folks and comment on things. Mm-hmm. And without being spammy, you can't be running around, buy my stuff, like that. But, you can talk to people and give them tips, give them, I know this certain quilting trick that it's been amazing. It's been something I've known about for 50 years in my family, or whatever it is. And again, you're being helpful and useful, and you're talking to the very people that are probably going to become your customer after they get to know, like, and trust you, just like you said. And I think that's a great platform for that. So I think that's one way to do that. Be very targeted and find those groups that are hanging out on Facebook. And if you oftentimes can find them on Twitter as well. If you use the hashtag and do a search, quilting, you'll be able to find more people that are doing quilting. And then you can get more specific. You can even drill down to quilting in, Chicago, Illinois, or Dover, Delaware, or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And the same holds true for LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a little bit more business oriented, though. It's not so much hobby.
Oh, and okay, so is there anything that you would want to tell someone as far as their website that we haven't covered?
Possibly, just a couple these are minor things, but I'm a stickler for misspelled words. I go bananas when I see misspelled words. And I think people really need to put your best foot forward. You only have one chance to make a first impression. Mm-hmm. So yes, I think the website should be clean. Mm-hmm. It should not be cluttered. Mm-hmm. It should not be loaded down with copy. Mm-hmm. It should download quickly so people aren't waiting, because if they wait too long, they're going to leave. Mm-hmm. And I think those are important things. I think also consider the fact that we really are a global economy now. Mm-hmm. So whether you're an e-commerce or not, I still think you have to consider the fact that your website's being seen around the world. So maybe you want to be cognizant of that when you're talking to people in your copy and in your video and whatever other way. The other thing I think that I would be careful with is colors. Different colors mean different things in different countries. They're very symbolic. In some cases, they're a huge turnoff if you use the wrong color in the wrong country. So I'd be careful with color as well, and maybe do a little research and checking before you decide on your color scheme. But those are just a couple little things.
Okay. And Mary, you know what? You didn't tell us anything about your business when we started. So tell us about your business. Tell us about Big Dogs Marketing.
Sure. Big Dogs Marketing caters to small businesses mostly, and we help you get found online, not just through Google. It's not always all about Google, but Google SEO is something we can do. And by the way, just for the folks that aren't aware, SEO means search engine optimization. It's basically how the search engines see you and find you when customers do a search. And then we also do mobile marketing and video campaigns as well, and of course social media. So each situation is different. We do a free consultation to sit down with you and see what's working, what's not working, where are you investing your marketing dollars right now, and sometimes we can actually save you money and get you better results.
Great. Okay, so is there anything else you want to add in closing about a great website? I think the tips you just gave at the end were phenomenal. I mean, it's just the little things that we look over, the colors we're picking, misspelled words, clutter, all of those things are important. Confusion, yes. And you know what? Yeah. And when of course, because I say it all the time, we're in the microwave society. You just don't have that much time to make a first impression. So you have to decide how you're going to put your best foot forward. I think everybody wants to put everything forward, and I think that causes the issue. Sometimes you just got to decide which way can I put my best foot forward and allow that to be the mechanism that's going to keep them to stay. But the clutter that I see out there on websites is unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So did you want to add anything in closing?
Just for more tips and information, a little bit more depth, you can go to www.bigdogsmarketing.com, and that's BIGDOGZ marketing.com, where we make it so that the little dogs can run with the big dogs. Thank you, Tina.
And before we finish, I'm Tina Brinkley Potts. You can find out more about me and the rest of these video series at tinabrinkleypotts.com. Thanks, Mary, for joining me today.
Thank you, Tina. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, hold on one.